Okay, so just press the
It's just setting up the live stream now.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, yes, I approve.
And we are live.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to wait a few minutes because probably not many people are here yet. And so I'll wait to do that before I introduce you with everyone. So just wave and, you know, look gorgeous like you often do. And I'll just bring up the other screen to see if there are any comments. If for those of you who are online, just wait a moment. Hi, Casey. Just waiting a few moments to see who's online before we actually start so that people don't miss the beginning, because we're actually a little bit early. So just hold there if you are on. And then I will be introducing. How is your day? How's everyone's stress levels today? It's a beautiful day out there, isn't it, today?
That's good. It's beautiful.
It is. I think it gives the promise of spring and the promise of warmer and better times ahead, even though it's still a bit icky at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so probably some people are still connecting. If you are here, make sure that you say hello. I know, hi, Casey, saying hi again. Today, it's my very great pleasure to introduce Susie Basiaco from The Social Nest. Now, you may not have met Susie before. Some of you have, some of you haven't, but you may have seen her work because she's been managing the Instagram page for The Joyful Fashionista. She's come up with some lovely work, some beautiful tiles and even some videos. And I've got so many comments about how beautiful it is. So if you want to support me and Susie, you can go and check out on Instagram, The Joyful Fashionista, and give it a big like. And thank you, Susie, for the beautiful and thoughtful work that you've been doing on that for some time.
My pleasure. I really enjoy working with you. It's really lovely.
Well, you've got so much creativity and so excited for this. Now, you've had a bit of a stressful time. Now, I know a lot of people are a bit of shock and, you know, going through a range of emotions as COVID has suddenly gone into snap lockdown, but you've had a particularly rough ride of it.
I have. So Thursday morning, I was notified, Friday morning, I was notified that I was a casual contact because we had been to a business at breakfast networking meeting on Thursday morning. And so I went out to Epic at 8:15, only brought a bottle of water just after having breakfast, thinking it would only take a couple of hours. 12 and a half hours later. Yeah, and I was there nice and early because on the website it said it didn't open before 8:30. So 9:45 I actually got tested, and that was at night. So my Facebook feed during the day was very entertaining because I was keeping everybody updated with where I was in the queue and how many hours, and I still think it was the worst summer nats I've ever been to. They didn't have any monster truck rallies. It was just terrible. That was a bit of fun. And then I've been in isolation from my family, from the EQ, having the testing from being a casual contact from the EQ. And then it was announced that Lynham High School has actually been an exposure site, and my daughter goes to Lynham High. And on the Wednesday last week, I was kind and went in and picked her up early, thinking we'll go and have a mummy-daughter date. And I waited 15 minutes in the front office, which means I'm actually a close contact as well. So I'm now in quarantine until the 29th. Of August. So that's fun. And my poor husband and my daughter, we all went and got tested yesterday. But I've been able to visit all of the sites. I've been to the Epic site. I've been to Brindabella Airport because we went there Monday night, but they were at capacity, so we ended up getting turned away. And then yesterday we managed to go out to the Gold Creek pop-up testing clinic, and we only waited an hour and a half. So that's my favourite one so far. So shout out to those lovely healthcare workers.
Only an hour and a half. I must say, when I saw on Friday you waiting in the queue, I was shocked. And as you know, I do often go to that business at breakfast meeting on Thursday morning. And in fact, the host had asked me to go because she was running low of my business cards. And the only reason I didn't go was because my son had been unwell. He'd had a migraine the night before and he was still unwell the next day. So I'd worked from home that day. So I sort of felt it wasn't right for me to run off and leave them. But for that, I would have been there. And when I saw you at about the 8.5 hour mark, I was like, oh, this is crazy. But yet still was more to come.
Yeah, that's right. The 8.5 hour mark, I think, was the thank you for your patience. Your car has progressed in the queue. It was 8.5 hours. That was, yeah, because it was very, very slow. And the biggest concern, I guess, I had with it was that there was no communication. There was nobody telling us what the estimated wait times were. There was no one offering food. So that was my biggest. I wasn't even certain if I was even in the right lane. And that was kind of scary, but it worked, like you can't go anywhere. I was stuck in the middle lane. I couldn't turn around. So I just tried to make the best of it that day, just by focusing on talking to friends and updating my Facebook and social media. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for doing the right thing and going and getting tested. And I think they've learned from that a lot. Obviously, there's new sites, there's new pop-ups. They're now closing the gates when it's too many people there. They've got the SES now handing out things. So, but sorry you were there on such a traumatic and difficult day.
Yeah. No, it's all right. We had a good time. We had a good day. Made the most of it. It was like when I first arrived, it was a bit like a festival because everyone was hanging out of their cars and yelling out to their friends across the oval. And there was music blaring because radios were on. So it had a very cruisy, splendor in the grass kind of feel. And people were strolling around, going to the bathroom and then coming back. But then by the end of the day, it was definitely, people were fed up and had enough. So
yeah, I can understand.
Yeah.
But, on other things, and noting how joyful you are, let's talk about the joys of Instagram. So as I said at the beginning, Susie manages the Instagram page for the Joyful Fashionista. She's done some beautiful and stylish things for that. So let's talk about some top tips, and I know you have several, for really making your Instagram really pop. So maybe, I didn't rehearse this with you, so hopefully it's not too much out of notice, but why is Instagram so popular and why is Instagram so important?
Okay, so Instagram is actually the third biggest platform. So the first biggest platform is Facebook. The second biggest platform is YouTube, and then third biggest platform is Instagram. Instagram is incredibly popular with millennials, so anyone who's sort of 25 to 40 age group. That's like the biggest part of the market. And Instagram, actually, the algorithm actually rewards engagement. So you have a better chance of growing your business organically when using Instagram. So, yeah.
Thank you. And I've noticed too, just how, women-led businesses in particular are just gravitating towards Instagram. Like it started out as just like something a bit like Flickr where you just put photos on it, but it's really quickly morphed into a very powerful business tool.
Yeah, definitely. So how do we stop the scroll on Instagram?
How do we stop the scroll on Instagram?
So the number one thing is to prioritize your Instagram carousel images. Carousels are posts that have between 2 to 10 images on the one post. They have a multi-image icon in the top right corner of each carousel, and they make it easier to spot them on a profile page. Carousels are also a convenient way to upload videos and multiple images without cluttering up your feed. Instagram will also resurface the carousels. So if a viewer doesn't actually engage on it the first time, the Instagram algorithm will bring it back up, but with a different image. So that's pretty cool because you're actually basically doubling your exposure from the one post. So when using a carousel, don't post the same image more than once within that carousel, because Instagram's algorithm does not like that. But do place your best image first. And this is where, if you're doing a before and after photo, it kind of is counterintuitive because you're like, oh, but I want them to see the before photo before the after. But actually, you want them to see the after photo first, because the prettiest photo is going to get the most engagement.
So it's the prettiest one wins here.
The prettiest one wins on that one. So how can we capture people's attention? my number 2 tip is to embellish your Instagram captions. So you want to start with a clean, snappy hook and write as if you're writing an email subject line. You want to give your readers a quick preview of your content offering while making them want to keep reading.
That's good. Now, I'm just going to pause here and just acknowledge
Sure.
we have a few people online. We have Casey, we have Davina, we have Janie, and also Alison Williams. And Janie Allen has asked if you could perhaps explain what carousels are in a little bit more detail.
Certainly. So a carousel is when you create a post and you have multiple images within that one post. That's a carousel. So you can't have any more than 10 photos attached to that. You can do a mix of video and photos or images. So yeah, so 10 tiles is really, 10 images, sorry.
10 images.
Yeah, 10
and just
images.
To acknowledge too that Liv Ferreira says, I'm here too.
Yay,
thank you,
hi,
Liv.
Liv.
Susie is awesome. She has done a great job helping me with my hashtags and ideas for my social media. Yes, she is awesome, isn't she, Liv?
Thank you.
So we're very lucky to have her.
Thank you. So another tip that I've got is if somebody wants to keep reading, your Instagram will see this as a positive engagement. So sometimes when we're scrolling through, we might stop, click on a post, read the post, but we don't actually like it or share it. That is still engagement, and Instagram actually rewards your post with a greater reach because they see that as positive engagement. Okay. So when you are writing your caption for your posts, make sure that you use caps and emojis to catch attention, and these basically help to stop the scroll. And when you're formatting the very first sentence of your post, write it as if it were a blog article. You want an impactful caption that has the same effect as a strong headline for your web content.
That's really good advice. And in fact, some people often think of Instagram and other platforms as micro-blogging platforms.
Yeah.
So, there's this whole trend to saying it's not just about pictures, it's also about the written content. You're going to have like a mini blog on there.
It is definitely mini blogging, yeah. So number 3 tip is to develop a Instagram hashtag formula. And this is actually something that I do. I do offer that as a service. You can use hashtags to help people, to help reach as many people as possible for the longest time. So that's why we use the hashtags. You want to be using a combination of hashtags, which include trending hashtags, moderately popular hashtags, niche specific hashtags, and personally branded hashtags. So for instance, with the Joyful Fashionista, I will use the personally branded hashtag is the @JoyfulFashionista. The niche specific hashtags are sustainable fashion and sustainability matters. Also buy, swap, sell community or buy, sell communities. Moderately popular hashtags will be things like reduce your carbon footprint, reduce textile waste. They're still related, but they are within, they're still related to the topic and they're popular hashtags. And trending hashtags at the moment, if you're not using it, I suggest you use Ken Berens. That's KenBehrens. Use that, Ken Berens. If you're a local business, put that in with your tag because that is a trending hashtag at the moment. So
yeah, I was a bit slow to that, I must say. I actually on the weekend, I had a bit of a migraine. I was, quite stressed by everything that was happening. I didn't have 12.5-hour waits in the car like you did, but I was still stressed and worried about myself and my family and, friends and everyone else. And I was actually looking on LinkedIn going, who is this Ken? What is happening here? And then it wasn't until I said it out loud, I was like, oh, Serena, you're thick. But I just wanted to go back a little bit to hashtags because some people get really quite scared about hashtags. And I know particularly people who aren't tech savvy, and they worry about what they mean and they think there's some kind of magic to it. So basically a hashtag makes it easier for you to search for something.
Yes. If you think of a hashtag as you tapping into little micro communities, So by using a hashtag, people can find you long after you've put that post up. People will actually follow the hashtag. So if they are looking, for instance, a Canberra small business, the hashtag Canberra small business is one that you could use. I'm just going to use Janie because I know that she is a fashion stylist. So she might want to use hashtag fashion stylist Canberra. And that will help people find when they are looking for a fashion stylist in Canberra. It will niche it right down for her. And with Lib, who's a graphic designer, she could do graphic design or family photography Canberra as well.
Yeah, exactly. And like, for instance, I've had various friends who've had social media platforms and they encourage people to use their hashtag, and then they'll often search for that hashtag and then they'll reshare some of the photos there. And like, for instance, you might be an avocado grower, and if someone's done hashtag avocado, you might go through and search for photos of avocados because you might want to, reshare them and use them. And if you're doing an event, you might want people to use a particular hashtag because it's easy to find that, event. So, that's in that instance, it's the use of a niche one.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So what's next?
Okay, so next one I've got is to use focused location tags on Instagram. So when you are tagging your location, it increases your reach and engagement by being visible to people who are posting and searching within a specific area. You want to be as specific as possible. So if you can choose a business name or even a street name rather than a city. So for instance, if you are located in Belconnen Mall, I'm just putting it out here. If you wanted to put in...
Not during COVID time.
Not during COVID. None of this is... But just as an example, you wouldn't want to put just hashtag Canberra. You might put hashtag Westfield Belconnen. Like you would actually put the specific where you are located, so that it niches down, but it also finds you in your local area. By doing this, it focuses on a narrower area, so there's less competition. You can also tag other brands and people on Instagram. And I really like to do this. I really like shout outs, and I just personally think that tagging other businesses is just one way we can support each other. When you are tagging other accounts, you do it when they are relevant in your content or directly related to your content. Tagging gives the tagged user a notification that you've added them in your content, prompting them to react to your post. Okay. The other reason you would do it is because tagged photos will also appear in the other person's profile under their tag section, which is another place where people can see you organically and discover your Instagram content if they're browsing through.
And I think it is really effective. I would just say that. Like, I'm really big on collaboration. I think most people know that. But for instance, I get a lot of people who like reading The Joyful Frugalista who tag me. And there've been a number of times, particularly on Instagram, where I've gone and got, actually, they're really interesting. Their feed is really interesting. Why don't I invite them to be a guest on my podcast? They clearly like the book. It resonates for them. And when I look at what they're doing, there's a lot of themes that are quite similar. And often they've got a good, Instagram reach as well. So it's clearly a good, synergy. So, I do look at that, and I will usually share back. Sometimes, I miss things because I'm human. But, if it's someone who's a really genuine and authentic outreach, I will share the love back.
Yeah. No, it is really good, and it is a great way. Like, for instance, yesterday was my daughter's 16th birthday, so she had a COVID lockdown birthday. Thank you. And Sarah Hardy from Deserved Luxury actually designed an absolutely gorgeous ring. So on my Instagram photos, you'll see there's a photo of the ring. And on Facebook, there's a photo as well. And I tagged Sarah and Deserve Luxury because I want to share the love, because she makes some amazing jewellery. And yeah, I know my daughter's thrilled with it, and it won't be the first piece that I will have her make.
No, I have seen a beautiful piece of Sarah's as well. And I've subscribed to her subscription box. In fact, I was the first person to subscribe for her subscription box. I know a good bargain when I see one, and I know good quality when I see one.
Yeah,
so
no, it's
she's
awesome.
fabulous, and it is, you know, it shares that love. She knows, everyone knows, and it's such a little thing that you can do. Doesn't cost you any money unless you buy the subscription box service, which I do actually highly recommend, and it's a good way of paying it forward.
That's right. That's right. So another way to help improve your growth on Instagram is to apply Instagram stories stickers. So story stickers are the best way to turn your story into an interactive experience. The best stickers to promote are questions, polls, quiz, and countdown. So these stickers actually invite your viewers to participate and provide metrics so you can track responses to see what your audience is interested in. You should also be adding hashtags, locations, and mentions as well. With your, number 7's tip is to diversify your Instagram stories media. So as I was saying before, in your carousels, you can put a mix of your photos and your videos in, but you can do this in your stories. And this is an effective way to maintain your viewers' attention so they don't zone out. For example, you might show a short video and then you might follow it up with an interactive sticker poll afterwards.
I'm just going to pause there and say that for a long time, stories really scared me. I don't know why, because they're really easy to create.
Yeah.
But I think I was really worried I was going to do something wrong or something like that. But basically, you know, if you've got a short video or if you've got a short photo, you can either put it into your feed where it will stay there permanently and it'll be static, or you can put it into a story. And you can usually, when you have that option for a story, you can add a little bit of comment to it. And as Susie said, you can also, you know, have polls, you know, yes or no, do you like this, yes or no, or other sorts of things. And that will only be up for 24 hours. But Instagram prioritizes it. I don't know if you've been on Instagram and you've seen them, these things flash around too. So you will get more views doing that, even though it doesn't stay for as long.
That's right. That's right. So now my number 8 tip is to try and get to 10,000 followers as fast as possible. The reason being, 10,000 followers, it's like it's a secret club on Instagram. You get to have a whole heap of different things, but one of the benefits is that you get to use swipe up links. And they're really handy because when you're wanting people to flick through, you can go through your carousels and go, oh, swipe up, that's where I need to be. I want that one. My number 9 and 10 are actually 2 tips in one. We can share Reels and Instagram TV to your feed. So Instagram Reels and IGTV, they both play videos and they both have their own designated spaces. But we can boost our visibility and engagement by sharing these videos directly into our Instagram feed. So when we're sharing our Reels and Instagram TV videos, it is as easy as tapping a button during the upload process so they also appear on your Instagram feed. IGTV videos will show as a preview to your Instagram viewers, and your audience will see the beginning of the videos and then be prompted to continue watching once the preview ends. I don't know if anybody's been watching the Jimmy Reese videos. I know I'm a big fan.
No, I haven't.
And he's very, very funny. He's one man who plays all of the states of Australia and then talks about the COVID situation, pretending to be the state premiers. It's very, very funny. His ones, every little video that he does, or there's always a prompt there to continue watching. So when you share Reels and IGTV videos on Instagram, those videos then become available on your profile page. So people who are just scrolling through and finding you, they're able to find it. And so Instagram marketing tips for Reels and Instagram videos. Make your video exciting at the start, as you only have a few seconds to capture your audience's attention and you want them to keep watching. If you can choose a cover image that looks good cropped in Instagram, it needs to be within the square ratio. These videos will show up in your Instagram content feed on the grid. And so while they will be in a vertical format on Reels and IGTV, Insta will actually crop your cover photo into a square to display it.
That's a good tip, because I've had times where I've had photos of, say, my son the other day, and he was a bit high and his hot chocolate was a bit low, and it cut him off about here.
Yeah. Or you might have words written on, you might have done the words and thinking that it looks all good on one screen, but then when you go and crop it, you're missing half a sentence. So that's really important. You want to choose your photo wisely to ensure that you aren't cropping anything important out. And in conclusion, consistency is key with posting. When you post content, your followers should be able to immediately recognize your posts. This means using the same filters, fonts, and color schemes, so every post feels like it belongs. This subtle connection among posts helps to reinforce the idea that all of your images are working together as part of your brand. And thank you very much for having me.
Well, thank you. I'm going to open it for some questions for anyone who's got some. I know I have a lot, and I know the lovely Lib who is on here is very big on consistency too, making sure if you've got some brand colors that you are consistent with them, brand fonts that, where possible, that you're consistent on them. So don't forget that with Instagram as well. Some people go to the extent of consistency to make sure that like all their colors are in the same color palette. I'm not that good, so I'm a little bit more haphazard with that. Janie said, I thought I was doing a video on stories, but it ended up being in my gallery instead. What did I do wrong?
Okay, so did you post it to your feed, or did you just post it to the stories? So it's about where you actually put the post in at the time. So there's when you go into your Instagram page, you've got the Reels, you've got the IGTV, you've got stories. You need to click on stories to actually upload it up to there first. And then if you've just popped it into your feed, your stories will actually still display in your feed for 24 hours, but then after that, they disappear from your feed.
Okay, so she might have been on stories for a while and then it's disappeared.
Yes.
Or might have inadvertently not done that.
Yep.
But at least it sounds like it's in the gallery, so it's there for longevity.
It's there. Yeah.
Which is good. It's there. You've done a good thing. It's there.
That's right.
And Alison also notes about how beautiful it was for your daughter to have a custom design gift, and how much she loves Sarah Hardy and her jewelry. I do that as well.
Yeah. No, it was special because it's the 16th. So.
Sweet 16.
Yeah, sweet 16.
Well, that is lovely. Janie's just come back and said that she'd posted on the feed. Janie, it's not wrong to post on your feed. It's not like it's there, longer term. In fact, there is a bit of a debate about whether to go for your feed or to go for your stories. I often like to have things in my feed because I like to see that it's still there.
Yeah.
And to be able to go back to it later and to share it. And sometimes because I'm a blogger, I will take those Instagram posts and I will insert them into my blog posts, but I can't do that with the story. So there are some real advantages. So she said, no, that wasn't the case. Yes, it's there. It's there.
Okay. Woohoo.
And I guess I wanted to make a point too, that you can't break Instagram. It's weird because I'm much more, people have different platforms they're more familiar and comfortable with. I'm much more comfortable with Facebook and Facebook groups. I know at least one person who gets freaked out by Facebook groups and won't do Facebook groups, but I'm like quite comfortable with Facebook and Facebook groups. I'm quite comfortable with Zoom. I'm comfortable with Facebook Live, obviously, because we're doing this via Facebook Live. But Instagram actually does scare me a little bit. I don't know why it does. It just does. But you can't break it.
Yeah, no.
So, Janie said, no, I wanted to post it on stories so it went across onto Facebook. That's what I'm trying to teach myself at the moment. Well, if you didn't perfect it this time, I'm sure there's next time.
Yeah, and Facebook is different to Instagram when posting. So you're posting, when you're posting on your Facebook stories, it does go into your feed.
So sometimes with Business Suite now, because Facebook and Instagram are owned by the same people, sometimes you can use Business Suite to, post to Instagram that way. And I think you post to my Instagram feed that way too. I have for my other channels that I manage myself, I use a social media managing tool. So I use something that's in the Zoho suite, but the more common one is Hootsuite, and that's a different way of doing it as well. But generally with stories, it is better to use your phone.
Yes, yep, because that's how the app was designed. That's what it was for.
That was what it was for.
Yeah.
Janine comments that you can't break it, but you can look silly trying. Well, maybe you think you do, but actually people, I think everyone understands you don't really. I mean, I've done all sorts of boo-boos and things. I've had typos and blog posts and stuff. And you think that people worry about it, but they don't actually. No. I think everyone's done stuff. And Casey says, I post into Instagram Reels, story, and as a post works good for me. Have heaps of fun with Reels and stories.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's really good.
Excellent. Well, thank you so very much, Susie, for being my guest on this Facebook Live. Like I said, Susie manages my feed for the Joyful Fashionista, so you can check that out on Instagram. She's got some beautiful, beautiful tiles and videos that she has created there. Now, how else can people find you?
Oh, so they are welcome to follow me on Instagram at the Social Nest AU, and also on Facebook at the Social Nest AU. Also, or you can visit my website, which is www.thesocialnest.com.au. So welcome to get in contact with me any of those ways.
Thank you so much. And I will be uploading this Facebook Live into the YouTube channel, so you can check out the Joyful Business Club YouTube channel. I always very much welcome people to subscribe and like that, and to share things that resonate for them. This series has been a little bit dormant as I've gone back to work, but it is now reigniting on Wednesdays, and I've got some great other guests. I mean, Susie is amazing. It's hard to top Susie, but I do have a range of other guests that are coming online, and mostly they will be on Wednesdays. So I am really looking forward to sharing more wisdom that will hopefully help you on your business journeys. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.